Hello chess enthusiasts, my name is Miha and welcome to my chessrealm YouTube channel. So, FIDE World Cup is still playing. Let's go to the third round, duel between Salem and Bardiya Daneshvar. Let's see what happened. Salem had white pieces and he started with e4, c6, d4, d5, e5, and we have advanced variation of Caro-Can. Bishop goes to f5, knight to f3, e6, bishop to e2, pretty much standard moves, and now c5, black strikes the center, c3 defending d4 pawn, knight to c6, increasing the pressure, and now white castles king side. Bishop goes to g4, knight from b goes to d2, c pawn captures on d4, knight recaptures, bishop captures on e2, queen recaptures, knight captures on d4 and c-pawn captures on d4. Okay, so we had some trading of the material already in the beginning. Black continues with the development. Knight goes to e7, knight to f3, and now knight to c6. Black knight is on its natural square, and now white has decided to play h4, preparing the advance of an h-pawn. Bishop goes to e7, and now h5. Threatening with h6. Well, actually, black shouldn't be afraid of this h6 pawn push, because black could also castle queenside and we have a solid game. Still, h6 was played, preventing h6 pawn push. Bishop goes to d2, queen to b6, attacking both pawn on b2 and d4. So bishop goes to c3, defending both pawns, and now bishop to b4, offering the trade of bishops. White doesn't go for it. Rook from f goes to d1, black castles king side. Rook from a to c1, taking over the c file, and now rook from a goes to c8, counteracting on the c file. Queen goes to d2, bishop to e7. So suddenly black doesn't want to trade bishops, and black is also clearing this b4 square for the knight. Queen goes to e2 was played, and now knight to b4, attacking this pawn on a2. Now there are more ways to avert it, either capturing the knight or a3 pawn push. Rook to a1 was played in the game. So white loses control over this c file, and black uses this opportunity. Rook goes to c6, preparing to double the rooks along the c file. White plays a3, attacking the knight. Well, black knight only has one square left, so knight goes to a6, and now white plays knight to h2. So white has a very simple plan. Rook to d3 and to g3, harassing black king. Black continues with knight to c7. Well, black threatens with knight to b5, double attacking this bishop and double attack on this pawn on d4. So white would have to secure them both before advancing with the attack. So white responds with a4, preventing this unpleasant knight to b5. Bishop to b4 was played instead. Bishop is double attacked. And now white can finally play rook to d3, defending the bishop, and continued with his plan. Bishop captures on c3, b-pawn recaptures. And here in this position, the best option for black would be to play knight to e8. Defending this g7 square, deploying another piece into the defense of a black king, but black is not sensing any danger. Rook goes to c8 was played. Knight to g4. Now knight indeed goes to e8, but it's too late. White strikes with the piece sack. Knight captures pawn on h6 check. Black more or less has no other option but to accept the sack, because this pawn on f7 is also attacked, and the only way to defend it is king f8. But after king f8, then queen d2, defending this pawn, preventing counteraction on the queen side. Later with rook f3, white can develop a serious attack here. So black accepts the sacrifice, g-pawn captures knight on h6, rook to g3 check. Now if king goes to h8 or h7, doesn't matter, then queen g4 is gonna be made here on g8 because g7 square defended, and then black removes the knight to protect g8 square, then queen to g7 is checkmate. So in the game, king goes to f8, queen to d2, king to e7. So king is trying to escape on the queen side, and now queen captures pawn on h6. So white has a free pawn here on the h-file, but that's not black's main concern. Rook g8 later with queen f8 can be quite devastating. Yeah, in the end advancing with an h-pawn is deadly, but maybe still black could try with rook c3 challenging this rook on g3. Queen to b2 was played instead, attacking rook on a1. So rook goes to f1, queen c2. Black has a simple defensive plan. White will have to remove this queen if he wants to advance with an h-pawn, and then queen jumps on h7, preventing the advance. So white continues with queen to g5 check. King goes to d7, and now queen g8. So with check, white gained another tempo, driving the king away. f7 pawn is defenseless, and also white controls this h7 square. h-pawn is free to go. So black reacts immediately. Knight goes to d6. Discover attack on the queen, and also protecting f7 pawn. Queen goes to g7. Knight on d6 is still at stake. So knight goes to f5. Queen captures on f7 check. Knight to e7 defending. And now all black needs to do is to play queen f5, forcing the trade of queens. With 3 pawns for a knight, the position would probably be equal. Still, white doesn't waste his advantage. Rook to g7 was played, threatening checkmate in 1. So rook to e8 defending, knight on e7. And now white pushes pawn to h6. Queen goes to f5, trying to trade queens, but it's too late. Queen goes to f6. Of course, black can trade queens, but after queen captures on f6, e-pawn recaptures. Knight is pinned and has to be twice protected. Meanwhile, h-pawn has a free path all the way. So in the game, queen to h5 was played. And now white pushes pawn to h7. Rook from c to c8, further protecting this h8 square in case white wants to promote. But now c4, attacking this pawn chain in the center. Well, let's see. If rook captures pawn on c4, then one rook is gone from defending the last rank, and white simply promotes h-pawn to queen. And now black has 2 ways of capturing it. If queen captures, then rook e7, discover attack on the queen. If rook captures, there goes our queen. If king c6, then queen e6 checkmate. If king c8, then queen e6 check, and double attack on the rook, and mate in maximum 7 moves, but I'll leave it for you to find it. If, however, rook captures queen on h8, then we have mate in 3, queen to e7 check, king c8, queen b8, king d8, and queen d7 check mate. Okay, let's go back to our game. So in the game, d-pawn captures on c4, and now d5 is the killer move, After this move, black resigned the game. Well, if e-pawn captures, then queen d6 is checkmate. If black plays a random move, let's say a6, then queen e6 check, king c7, queen d6 is checkmate. If black tries with queen f5, trying to trade the queens, simply d-pawn captures on e6 check, king to c6, white promotes h-pawn to queen, rook probably captures, knight is defenseless, so queen captures knight, threatening mate in 1. So maybe queen d3 defending, queen to b7 check, king c5, queen a7 check. With king in the open, black is lost in all variations. After king d5, rook d7 gains decisive material. After king b4, then queen to b6 check, king c3, rook c1, queen c2, rook g3, king to d2, and queen to e3 is checkmate. So I hope you like this game, I hope you have learned something from it. If you have any questions, my email is below in the description. Of course, I invite you to visit my Instagram page. That's it for now, and see you soon.